Yo, this your boy, the real McCoy, coming at you, man. We talking about football. The NFL season is kicking off tonight, man. Got the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Patriots, kicking the season off. Tom Brady gonna be playing, you know what I mean, which is good for the NFL, you know what I mean. It's you take Tom Brady out, it changes the AFC East, the AFC, it changes the whole landscape of the NFL. You know, that's how talented he. I'm not a Tom Brady fan at all. On 0 to 10, I'm 0. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm a football fan, and you respect great football players, no doubt. You know what I mean? And that's what Tom Brady is. But you know, I'm excited. I've been waiting, man. Football season is the best time of the year, man. It's the best time of the year, man. I can't wait. It's the off season. It felt like it took forever. It's finally here though in a couple of hours, man. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited I was able to get the NFL Sunday ticket through my PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? Because I don't have DirecTV. I got Bright House. You know what I mean? So I got that. I'm excited about that, man. So I get to watch my Cowboys every week, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? Week 1, you know what I mean? It's national TV. You know what I mean? Sunday night football against them New York Giants. You know what I mean? Last time we played them on Sunday night football, you know, Odell Beckham, it was greatest catch ever, what you want to call it. 3 fingers, 1 hand, whatever, you know what I mean? But I'm pumped up. I'm just excited about the season. I'm trying to break down this Cowboys Giants Week 1 Sunday night football. The last few years, especially in Jerry's world, the new $1 billion stadium, the $1 billion stadium, most of the games have been very close. You know what I mean? This game probably won't be any different. You know what I mean? But if a team does pull away, I think my Cowboys, we have the talent and the depth to do that. Offense, defense, special teams. You know what I mean? But should be probably another good game, solid game, close game, things like that. You know, when you look at the Giants, their offense has the potential to be a top 10, top 5, maybe even a top 3 offense in the NFL. Don't want to say number 1. I won't want to put that type of pressure on anybody. But you have a great Eli wins you 2 Super Bowls. An average or a bad Eli, he leads the league in interceptions. You know what I mean? So if they get the great Eli, a healthy Victor Cruz at some point throughout the season, a healthy Odell Beckham, Rashard Jennings in the backfield, their offense could be potent and dangerous, man. It could be dangerous. A solid tight end, you know what I mean? They got Dwayne Harris, you know what I mean? He's there. He came from the Cowboys. I believe he's like 4th on the depth chart. Ruben Randall, in the slot doing his thing. Offensive, now they have concerns on offensive line. And they did go with was it Eric Flowers out of the U. I think they got him at left tackle. You know, to protect Eli. They needed help on the offensive line and defensive line as well in the trenches. You know what I mean? They needed offensive line help. But if they can protect Eli, and the running game is solid. I mean, the running game is going to have to be solid, which it has the potential to be that. Their offense could be potent and dangerous, man. The offense. Defense is a different course. Their offense could be dangerous. You know, especially when you got Rashard Jennings. He's a combination of their other 2 running backs, Shane Vereen and Andre Williams. I'm a Florida State fan in college football. And I remember Andre Williams, the year that Jameis Winston won that 2013, and Winston won the Heisman. We won the national championship. We went up to Boston College, and Andre Williams balled out. I think he had 2,000 yards that year. He was one of the Heisman finalists, I believe. 2,000 rushing yards. But he's an in-between the tackle type of guy. Shane Vereen's like a change of pace coming out of the backfield. And, you know, he got some good hands for a running back. And Rashard Jennings is a solid combination of the 2. You know what I mean? So their offense has a lot of potential and the potent to be really good, to put up some numbers on you. But their defense is the trouble. The defense is part of what's going to keep them out of the playoffs. You know, now they did go out and get the first pick of the 2nd round, Landon Collins, the safety out of Alabama. He felt like he was a first round grade. I thought he was a little bit overrated. I mean, to be honest, he carries himself on the field. He carries himself like he's Sean Taylor, this big hitter. He's not that. I mean, he's solid. Don't get me wrong. He's solid. You know what I mean? I think he could have been there late 2nd, 3rd, maybe even. I just thought he was a little bit overrated, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I thought, man, he's first pick, 2nd round. I get it. They needed help on defense. You know what I mean? They needed help. Then with JPP, No, he came back home to Florida, and he had the accident on 4th of July with the fireworks, and I believe he had to get his index finger amputated. So you know what I mean. So I don't think he's going to be medically cleared for week 1. I don't think Victor Cruz is going to be medically cleared for week 1. So without JPP, they don't have much of a pass rush. Now they did go out, I think, in the 3rd round, like the 74th, 79th overall pick in the 3rd round. They got a defensive end who caught my attention coming into the draft because the Cowboys, we needed a pass rush. And he got, how you say, Omar Wagabe, Omar Wagabe on the Azuna, something like that. The DN out of UCLA. You know, he's more of a guy who has potential. He has a lot of athletic potential to be a solid pass rusher and things like that. But without JPP, they don't have much of a pass rush. The linebacking core, I mean, John Beeson had his good years in Carolina with the Panthers. You know what I mean? He's usually injured. He's kind of on the downhill of his career. And they got Prince Amukamara and Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, and they got Landon Collins at safety. You know what I mean? Secondary has potential to be solid. The front 7, not so much. There's just not a lot of talent there. You know what I mean? So our offense is going to should be able to move the ball and put up some numbers as well. You know what I mean? So, but those are my concerns. You know, when you look at the Giants, you know what I mean? Now looking at my Cowboys, I mean, I might be a little biased, but hey, we got the best offensive line in football, no doubt. The best offensive line in football, great offensive line with depth and talent. With depth and talent, we added Lyle Collins, who went undrafted because he was, you know, being questioned, not as a suspect, just being questioned. I think it was his ex-girlfriend's murder. You know what I mean? So he didn't get drafted. Teams didn't want to take that risk, which I understand. We scooped him up, Chaz Green, in the 3rd round. You know what I mean? So we've added depth and talent, and I think some people were thinking that Lyle Collins was going to beat out Mackenzie Bernardo at left guard, but Bernardo had a solid preseason and training camp. He won. I mean, when we first got Collins, he told the media, "Hey, bring on the competition." He beat him out. You know what I mean? So offensive line is good, and because of our offensive line, our great offensive line, everyone stays healthy. I'm not as concerned about our running game. You know, it's funny you hear some of the experts say that, you know, you can plug in any running back behind the offensive line. You know what I mean? With DeMarco Murray do it, he had a good year, but it's mainly the offensive line. And then some of those same experts come out and say, oh man, the Cowboys made a mistake. They didn't draft a running back. They have which is it? You know what I mean? I'm like right in the middle. The running game is not going to fall off the cliff. None of the backs we have they're going to rush for 1845 like DeMarco Murray did. They're not going to do that. I don't think it is between Dunbar and I don't know, because I've seen some depth charts with Randall as a starter, with McFadden as a starter. I think McFadden probably get the nod, but between the 3 of those guys, if they can combine for about 13, 14, maybe 1,500 yards, we'll be okay with that. Now, you would like, as a coaching staff and as a fan, you would like there to be that one guy, that one solid guy, like the quarterback position. But a running back is not as much of a concern. Like a quarterback, if you got a quarterback carousel, or like people say, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. Well, at the running back position, it's not as much of a load and as pressure as far as putting up W's. You know what I mean? And those guys can keep, because McFadden has health issues, and Dunbar and Randall, you know, they're not, with their physique and their size, they're not going to get 25, 30 carries and do what DeMarco did and stay healthy the whole year. Those guys can spell each other, you know what I mean, give each other breaks, let each other get a rest, and don't get that massive workload that DeMarco had. That's what I'm hoping for with our offensive line. You know what I mean? Now we've got backs that can go 80 yards and take it to the house. And DeMarco, you know, he didn't have that. He had the 3rd and 1. You know what I mean? I do have concerns about that. That 3rd and 1, 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Let's move these chains, keep the ball, run down the clock, and maybe punt when there's like 2 minutes left in the quarter, something like that. Then trust our defense. Now, I do have concerns about that. The 3rd and 1, the 3rd and 2, the power back between the tackles. You know what I mean? A guy can lower his head and move the pile, or take on a linebacker head on and get that 1 yard for the first down. We don't have that type of back. You know what I mean? That's a concern. You know, so I mean, and I said this last year, if the running game does start to struggle somewhat, maybe we can change up our offense a little bit. You know what I mean? Not necessarily do what the Dolphins did in 06 and go completely wildcat, but maybe once a quarter, four plays a game, we do that. I mean, you got McFadden speed, Dunbar, Joe Randall type of speed. Run a little wildcat, mix things up a little, use that speed. I mean, those are running yards. Those are rushing yards. You know what I mean? Have Terrence Williams come around, let him come in motion, and let him get a reverse. We did that with prime time. You know what I mean? Let him get a reverse. And you got our offensive line, and you got a big, strong, physical receiver like Dez blocking on the outside. These things are possible. Like I said, I'm not saying turn our offense into Wildcat. I know some Cowboys fans, no, run our basic offense, but every now and then change it up a little bit. I mean, you got to do what you got to do with the personnel that you have. So we have the speed backs to do that. They're not known to run between the tackles and bang on guys and hit linebackers and defensive linemen for 25 carries a game for 16 games and stay healthy and be fresh for the playoffs. We don't have that. Let those guys get in the outside, put them in space, and let them use their athletic ability. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. You know what I mean? It's okay to do that every now and then. Let Daz get a reverse or something like that. So that's if our traditional running game isn't necessarily, it's necessarily, we're only getting 60, 70 rushing yards a game. Then we may have to make some changes. You know what I mean? We still got a great offensive line. Man. But Dez is going to do what Dez does, you know what I mean? I don't think he's going to get 16 touchdowns, but Dez is going to get 10, 12 touchdowns. 11, 12, 1,300 yards. That's what he does. About 80, 90 catches. Dez is going to be Dez. Now, Terrence Williams, he's balling, man. He had a good preseason. Very good preseason, man. He's looking good. During the Dez holdout, the OTAs and stuff, Devin Street, he was basically Dez's replacement. He has the height, kind of like Dez, things like that. He was playing well. Lucky Whitehead showed some flashes during the preseason, caught a touchdown. I think it was 1 or 2. He showed some flashes, you know what I mean? Now, I do have concerns about special teams. I know we got Dunbar and Beasley returning kicks and punts, respectively, things like that. Have a little, especially on punt return. Because the special teams, and a lot of people kind of overlook it. Special team is field position. You know what I mean? Field position. You catch the punt on a 25, and if you're able to get a 25-yard run, we at midfield. Another 25, maybe 30, we in field goal range, boom, 3 points. You know what I mean? Dan Bailey, one of the best kickers in football. Now, he did our kicker, Dan Bailey, he did let me down in the playoffs, especially up in Green Bay. He did let me down. In fact, he missed one in the wild card game against the Lions, too. So he kind of let me down in the playoffs, but I like Dan Bailey. I still like Dan Bailey. But field position, man, special teams. I have concerns. I had concerns about that last year. That's Dwayne Harris. He's with the Giants now. He wasn't flipping the field for us. You know what I mean? And I said last year we should put Dunbar. Let him get some catches. I mean, he's on the sideline. DeMarco was getting all the carries. We got this guy with all this speed and athleticism and Joe Randall. Put these guys on punt return, special team, just see what we get. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I definitely I like our chances on Sunday night. I just think we are an overall better team than the New York Giants. You know what I mean? Especially, with no Victor Cruz, no JPP, they're not gonna have much of a pass rush, especially going against our offensive line. You know what I mean? I'm not saying Romo is gonna have 10 seconds every passing play to sit back. I mean, it's the NFL. I've got great offensive line. Your quarterback is gonna get sacked at least once the whole year. You know what I mean? So. But I do like our O-line. Hopefully we can get everybody stay healthy. I know Doug Free got banged up a little bit last year, things like that. But we do have some depth. They're young, but we do have a little bit. Chaz Green and Lyle Collins. We do have some depth there. And with a little bit, because Lyle Collins out of LSU was a first-round grade. He had a first-round grade, but he had the situation going on, So, but he was a first-round talent, man. Yeah, he would have been taken in the first round, no doubt. So. I do think we'll beat the Giants. I don't know if we'll pull away, but we may, because our overall depth and talent may separate a little bit. And I like our defense, too. I'm very interested to watch Corey White. Corey White balled in the especially now we don't have Orlando Scandrick. He went down. I'm interested to watch Corey White, man. He had a pretty good preseason. I think he had one or two, at least one pick. I think he had a pick 6. I forgot was it the Dolphins? I forgot which game it was. He had a pick 6. Looked really good, man. He looked really good, and it seems to me Cowboys, like the front office, they really want Byron Jones to be our corner. I've always said, even when we drafted him on draft night, he's a safety. He's a safety. He's not, I mean, he can play a little corner, but like I said, I don't trust him for 60, 70, 80 plays a game, whatever the case may be out there on a corner. Now, they're looking for him to replace Brandon Carr. I get it. Most Cowboy fans, we want Brandon Carr out of there. You know what I mean? I think since he's been there for the last 3 years, he only has like 4 interceptions, maybe 5, something like that. But that's what we're looking for. We thought maybe Claiborne could have been that guy. That's what they want. I just think he's better at safety. Now, we need more corner help and depth than we do safety. Even though I'm not huge fans of J.J. Wilcox and Barry Church, but I think Byron Jones is a better fit at safety than he is at corner. But I definitely see the Cowboys winning Sunday night, man. No doubt about it. Especially with no Victor Cruz, no JPP, things like that. I'm a Cowboys fan, but at the end of the day, I still want to see Odell Beckham play, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a football fan now, so I'm excited to watch Odell Beckham. Hopefully he don't have no more great catches on us. But, you know what I mean, I'm excited to see him play. And, man, we got a tough schedule, man. Tough schedule. I mean, Giants at home. Week 2, we at Philly. The Falcons at home. I mean, the Falcons week 3, don't know. Their defense a little suspect. Then we go down to the Saints week 4. Now, after that, you know, that's when we get Greg Hardy back at defensive end, rushing the passer. Orlando McClain comes back in middle linebacker. Now we see our full defense. You know what I mean? We get those two guys back because we're going to need that week 5. Because coming in, we got Tom Brady and the Patriots. You know what I mean? We got Brady and them Patriots week 5. And then we got the bye week. Then tough schedule, man. At Green Bay later in the month. Then we got, of course, the divisional games down at Miami, at the Bucks, man. At the Jets, things like that. We got Cam Newton and the Panthers on Thanksgiving. So tough schedule, man. Tough schedule, man. But definitely excited about it. Looking forward to it. I definitely see us beating the Giants. I think we'll beat the Giants. I think their defense is just like last year. Even though they got some upgrades with Landon Collins and they get JPP back, maybe week 2, maybe week 3, things like that. I don't expect to see him Sunday. Probably won't see Victor Cruz Sunday night either. But I just think I think the Cowboys, we're our overall better team. Do have concerns with the running game, not as much. But I do have concerns with our special teams. I mean, it's some people say it's not as important, but if you flip that field and get that field position, that's important. You know what I mean? But I definitely see us beating the Giants, man. I'm excited about the season, man. It's finally upon us, man. It's on us. I'm ready for it to kick off. Things like that, man. And let me know what you guys think, man. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. It's time to start this trash talking now, especially, you know what I mean, it's rivalry week now. I got them Giants now. You know what I mean? Let me know what it is. You know, I'm just excited about the season. Just being an average football fan. You know what I mean? So, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about the game. You know what I mean? The other games, just NFL in general, man. It is what it is. I definitely see my boys, especially after the suspensions of McClain and Hardy. Our defense becomes the full strength. Too bad we don't have Scandrick. You know what I mean? But we get Sean Lee. Hopefully Lee can stay healthy, man. They got him playing weak side. They're trying to keep him healthy. You know what I mean? Let him move around a little bit and play in space. You know what I mean? Because when he's healthy, he's top 10 best defensive players in the league when healthy. You know, so anyway, man, let me know what you think, man. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, man. And this your boy, The Real McCoy, man. I'm out. Peace.